country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Up, good morning, dear America family. Hope you guys are having a fantastic one. We're headed into the weekend, folks. Thursday. It's the last show of the week, and that doesn't mean it's not going to be action-packed. We're going to give you stuff just to chew on today. Sink your teeth in. I want to see you blow that chat up. Let me see. Wake up. Oh, there's some of Chad's Prather music right there. How about that? Why do we have that playing? Why do we have that playing? That was the intro music for my show, and that was way too early. Oh, my goodness. But you know what? It get me fired up. I felt my little sphincter pucker right there. I was like, yeah. Y'all blow up the chat with that American flag. I see you guys in there. Whew, it looks good. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Let's climb those numbers right on up there. I love seeing those numbers climb. They climb so fast over on Rumble. If you're over there under the Google overlords on YouTube, get your butt out of there and come over here to Rumble. Get in the live chat on the Dear America show. Get on the Dear America channel and subscribe and share and like and all the things that podcast hosts are supposed to tell you to do every morning. But you don't have to smash that like button. You can gently rub it. You can massage it. You can take it into the weekend with a little beef tallow or something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dear America program, where common sense is our compass. I'm telling you guys, freedom is our fuel, and wokeness. Oh, it's starting to sound like a death knell out there, man. I'm telling you, it's deader than the Pope. Somebody's going to get pissed at me for saying that. But, well, we don't believe in wokeness around here. It's the unwanted glitter bomb in the ventilation system of American institutions. Messy, uninvited, and impossible to get rid of without a full-blown hazmat suit. Oh, but it is getting knocked off of our military, I can tell you that. Sometimes I say Pete Hegseth might be the only guy in Washington, D.C. who's actually getting the job done on the daily basis. I mean, there's some others I still believe in, but you know what? Pete's proven his point. You know, when you talk about the military and the government, I mean, that's two places that used to be about strength, duty, honor, and service, right? Do you want the same nonsense that we put up with for the last 4 years to continue on? This woke nonsense where they're holding sensitivity workshops and asking soldiers how their pronouns feel about battlefield trauma? I don't think so. I don't know about you. I sleep better at night knowing my Navy ships are powered by nuclear reactors, not guided by preferred gender identity briefings. Let's go, folks. We had generals that were quoting Ibram X. Kendi instead of Patton. Intelligence agencies posting rainbows on Instagram like they're running a pride parade instead of protecting the homeland. And our Department of Defense, my God, do you realize how bad it was and how much we're about to expose in there under Pete Hegseth? They were more concerned about misgendering an enlisted TikTok influencer than deterring the CCP from swallowing Taiwan for breakfast. And don't you even start thinking that Putin's army's debating intersectionality before, they start their, dropping bombs on Kyiv like they did last night. You think China's rolling tanks while reviewing everybody's emotional support animals? No. They're building hypersonics while we're building morale by making sure no one's feelings get hurt in the barracks. So here's a radical idea, and I think we're starting to see it play out. How about we get back to merit over identity, discipline over diversity quotas, and readiness over ridiculousness? How about the military trains warriors, not woke? And how about the government gets back to securing freedom instead of experimenting with social engineering like a freshman dorm at Berkeley? Folks, woke has no place in a foxhole. You want inclusion? Well, then include some common sense. Now, blow up the chat with that American flag. Let's dive into this mess because it's high time we clean house. And we don't need a safe space to do it. Oh, blow up that American chat. That American flag in the chat. All right, Birch Gold, man. Our folks over at Birch Gold, they're excited. I talked to Philip the other day. He is excited because Trump, when he put the tariffs out there, he didn't touch the gold and silver bullion. That's great for you because in the times of economic volatility, gold and silver, it's remaining. It is remaining. It has been the standard throughout all of human history for currency, and gold isn't going anywhere, folks. So I want you to get your future secure in gold. You do that by texting DEAR, D-E-A-R, to 989898, and they'll send you a free no-obligation information kit on how you can build an IRA, a retirement account, backed by physical gold. Get rid of that old 401k that's not doing anything, that IRA that's just sitting there. Get it backed by gold. Dear America, the Dear America family, trust Birch Gold, and Birch Gold will help you do what you need to do to get that IRA in place. Text DEAR to 989898. Secure your future. Take care of your retirement. Don't you slack on me today. If you've been sitting on the fence, text DEAR to 989898. Our friends at Birch Gold will take care of you. Speaking of a guy that knows how to take care of things, he's the guy that I trust for common sense. He's my favorite Mexican, and I know a lot. I live in Texas. Mexican Tony's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Your favorite Mexican, huh?
My favorite.
I need to make a shirt like that says Chad's favorite Mexican. That'd be great. That'd be a good shirt right there. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm super excited today. It's draft day today, NFL draft, and I can't wait to see how bad the Cowboys F things up again. So
man,
that's all I got to look forward to.
Really?
That's just, hey, man, it's the truth.
I hate that you reminded me that it's draft day.
It is what it is. Today is draft day.
You know, I was born a Cowboys fan. I had no choice. But I'm not anymore. I'm done with them. I'm going Houston Texans. I'm done with them.
Chad, the sad part about it is that we do have a choice, and yet we still go for the Cowboys. So.
We still go for the Cowboys.
Yep.
And you know what? It's like loving on an ex. I can't get rid of her. Just can't get rid of her. I'm smitten. I love the Cowboys, but man, it's not the Cowboys anymore. It's not the Cowboys anymore. Why'd you bring it up, Tony? Dadgummit. I was so happy. All right. Speaking of happy, probably because he got lucky. It was Wifey Wednesday yesterday. Well, you can apply the meaning to that however you want. Everybody's favorite redneck hot seat Todd's here. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, everybody. How we doing? You know, I was really pumped there for a minute. I was really pumped because, you were talking about the DOD, talking about the military, and being a retiree. Anytime we talk about the military, I get excited, but I have to one-up you just for a second. Pete Hegseth is the only person in D.C. that's doing his damn job and doing it well, doing it well. I talk to military members, recruiters, veterans all the time. Everybody is excited by the job that he's doing because we're actually going by common sense and books that have already been written, like this one right here. So, yeah, I'm super excited.
I saw somebody put a post out yesterday with a grade ranking like A through F, right, on who was doing what in Washington, D.C. in terms of the cabinet. And it was interesting. I agreed, I think, with most of it. I mean, it was pretty severe. He gave Pam Bondi an F, which I think I would agree with.
Yeah.
They gave, Dan Bongino a C. I thought that was a little unfair. I think you got 38,000 people you got to weed through in order to figure out, because half of them are against you. You got to figure out who those people are. So I'm willing to still give Cash and Dan a little more time on the deal like that because I know their character. But, Pete Hegseth got a B, I think, on that deal, and Stephen Miller got an A++++.
Oh, yeah, plus.
I love it. I'm not going to tell – I can't make an announcement about where I'm going to be on Monday.
He talks about it all the time.
I can't make an announcement about where I'm going to be on Monday, but I will not be on the show. Todd and Tony will be holding down the fort without me, which obviously they can do. They don't need me. But I will be somewhere Monday that I can't talk about. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet.
Come on back Monday. It's going to be probably a little bit more colorful.
Yeah, I've been there before, but yeah, I agree with you, Patriot Warrior. Karen LeLevitt, I think she's an A+.
Yeah, she's doing good.
Yeah, oh yeah, Caroline's killing it over there.
She's solid, and I may or may not see her Monday. I don't know. I can't talk about that. The deported alleged MS-13 gangbanger Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I mean, the hits just keep on coming. I mean, he just looks like everybody's soccer dad right there with his Kansas City Chiefs hat on while he meets with a Maryland senator down in El Salvador wearing his shirt from Kohl's. But apparently he had a lot of traffic violations, and he was driving a convicted smuggler's car.
With people in it.
Tennessee traffic stop, yeah. Gangbangers gonna gangbang, dude. I mean, that's what they're gonna do. And now I saw a little while ago on Newsmax that there's some stuff coming out about being connected with human trafficking. Again, what they want to talk about in regards to Hegseth, Todd, and I want to get your take on this. In regards to Hegseth, they keep saying, he's putting American safety in danger. But yet you want to bring back a guy who's got MS-13 tattoos, who's a wife abuser, who's driving a drug smuggler's car, who's connected with traffickers, who, God only knows what all he's connected to. Because, again, what they said when they sent him to El Salvador, they said, well, if they put him out there, that the other gangs are going to get him, right? I'm like, well, why would they if he's not a gang member?
Yeah, and I mean, ain't that the risk you run once you swear allegiance to a gang anyway? I mean, that's pretty much in the bylaws of being in a gang, you know.
I've never read any gang bylaws, but I gotta assume like that is by definition the gang. Like
Ask
that's
Tony.
what it is.
He knows. Tony knows.
Tony, Tony, you got any weird tattoos on your rear end or anything like that we need to know about?
Yes, I have a tramp stamp in my back over here. It's cool. Yeah. Yep.
He has a MS-13 tramp stamp.
Right across the top of right at the top of his crack, it says Sinaloa.
Yep. No, my tattoo says wrong way. So
It says the cartel stops here.
Yeah,
exactly.
Buddy.
Well, to the ones that say that Pete Hegseth is making Americans less safer, my question would be, how? Like, how does anybody get that from the job Pete Hegseth is doing by getting rid of the people that can't fight, by kicking out the folks that don't want to fight and leaving the people that just basically want to kill for a living, and that's doing what the military does. How does that make us less safer? I mean,
Yeah, I know. They're going to say the signal gate thing, which I promise you that's not going to do
Yeah, for
anything
real.
right there. I mean, don't forget Lloyd Austin. He disappeared for 4 days while he was getting his prostate cut out, and nobody even knew he wasn't there. And his second in command was off in the Caribbean somewhere. I love what Tommy Lawrence said about Garcia driving that car. She said, "Oh, I'm sure he was just driving to the soup kitchen to help serve meals to the homeless. He's such a good guy, such a giver."
yeah. No, you have a great point, Chad. I mean, why would other gangs be after him if he wasn't involved in them? I mean, all the other people that have been deported now, have we heard anything about them being attacked by other gangs? I mean,
if
we
they
heard
have
anything about
been,
them?
who cares? I mean, I didn't
let me
lose any
just say
sleep
this.
at night.
I was walking with Willie, and I took a little walk yesterday, my 100-pound fur missile. And we walked through an area where there were some guys out there. They were doing a little construction work, and they were Hispanic, and they were pretty tatted up, right? So I'm checking, I'm looking, right? I'm looking to see if I see any telltale signs. But either way, I could tell these guys, they were a pretty tight-knit group, if you will. Not saying they're a gang. They were just a community, all right? And they were having fellowship out on the side of the road. And I was thinking to myself, if I had MS-13 tattoos on my fingers, like that guy does, like Garcia does, it might be a little something that would catch somebody's attention if you know, right? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, you don't make that level of commitment. I don't know. I got tattoos. These don't come off. Like these aren't stick-ons, and they don't wash off, Todd. These unlike Tony's, you can see mine.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just when you see that. It's like, but they don't. But again, this goes back. This is the way the liberals are. This is the way the progressives are. They wanted to tell you for 4 years that Joe Biden was competent, that he was virile, that he was strong, that he was able and capable. Elizabeth Warren was on that interview saying, "Well, I called it the way that I saw it. I mean, I thought that he was at the time when I said it, he was mentally competent." And so they're going to tell you not to believe your eyes. Tell you not to believe your ears. Don't look at the signs that are right in front of you. The dude has MS-13 on his fingers, tattooed.
Yeah.
He's a lowlife.
Exactly. And it to the ones that say, well, tattoos don't mean anything, you can change. Listen, if you've got tattoos from a notorious terrorist organization gang member on your body and you're a reformed person, wouldn't you get those? You know how much it costs to get little bitty tattoos on your knuckles covered up? And he didn't. You know why he didn't? Because he was still active. So get out of here. He's a gang member.
He's a gang member. Was he a gang member? Yes or no? I want to see it in the chat. Throw that yes in there. It's just yes. I'm going to give you the answer. Blow up the chat. Blow up the chat. Blow up the chat. Just let that sucker spin, baby. Blow up the chat. I mean, I saw Sons of Anarchy. I saw what they did when they took the tattoo off that dude's back with a blowtorch. I mean, they don't mess around with stuff like that.
Oof. Never watched that show. Is that a good show? Never watched that show.
I mean, I've never gotten past a couple seasons of any show because after a while it's like
the ending sucked, but it was an amazing show.
Yeah, they always got to just end these things. Blow it up, yes, yes, yes. Yeppers, yup. American flag, yep. Sons of Anarchy. Somebody tossed it in there. Yes, 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 yes. All right, what else?
Great
We got
show.
here. Hey, I don't know if you're white. Apparently, it's open season on white people. I don't think that's anything that's surprising anybody.
This is
We're
amazing.
unapologetic here and calling things out the way that they are. There's a black community member. I think the only way you join the black community is by being black. But this is a guy. This is Cambron.
Cambone. Yeah.
He's an author and owner of Blacknificent Books. So I imagine he's probably read some Ibram X. Kendi, and the anti-racist himself. So Camus Cambon, yeah, I'd play the clip. Here's what he says.
This is amazing.
And the one idea is how we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. Now, I don't care whether you clap or not, but I'm saying to you
People clap.
that we need to solve this problem because they are going to kill us. And I will leave on that. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Finally, he said something that I've been thinking forever. I want to get rid of all the white people.
Look, I'm telling you right now.
I mean, I know I'm married to one, and my daughters are half white and half Mexican. But yeah, he's been. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Dude, I'm telling you now, from here on out, I'm going to be dressing up like Channing Tatum on the 21st Street or whatever. My name's Jeff.
My name's
Jeff.
Where is the outcry from either party out there? I mean, can you guys imagine if a white person came out and said, "We need to get rid of all the black people on the planet"? I mean, what
No.
I don't understand why there is why it's okay for people of ethnicity to come out and say, "Oh, it's all the white people's fault." I mean, I just don't. I've said it before on the show. White people are the most they are the most persecuted race on the planet because they think that you guys have everything and the minorities have nothing. I mean, I don't understand. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. You guys, I mean, starting with scholarships that in college, if you're ethnic, you can get help from the government. You can get grants. But if you're white, nothing. Like
Now,
absolutely nothing.
I just want to remind everybody that was on C-SPAN. So a black man can get on C-SPAN and it can say those things, can call for the extermination of white people, but yet he's being persecuted somehow. He's on C-SPAN. He's literally on C-SPAN, on camera, with a microphone. They didn't cut his microphone. They actually let him walk in there by himself. They didn't bring him in chains. I mean, he didn't have scars on his back. I mean, they literally didn't look too persecuted to me. He's got doo-doo locks. I mean, he's out there with his little tie-dye thing. He's talking, right? We're letting him talk. The black victimhood and the brainwashing and the people that clap. I mean, there's by and large more and more people who are so stupid in our culture. To your point, Tony, there's people who believe that crap and say, yeah, that's a good solution because whitey is bad. And then you have white folks out there who have so much white guilt. They've been brainwashed, too, to believe that, oh, my God, that guy, neither he nor anyone he knows, nor anyone in his immediate family, nor anyone in his recent ancestry has been in slavery, has been enslaved, has lacked opportunity, has had anything. I mean, I'm not saying discrimination doesn't exist, but come on, man. Come on, man. You know what? Hemorrhoids exist too, but I don't define my life by them.
I did a little
Sometimes
research.
you do for a minute.
Yeah, I did.
When you're going through it.
I can't say a whole lot about this clip because of this accent. But I did a little research on this guy. Okay, so he's dead. He died in 2018. His name was Joseph Baldwin.
Of course it was.
And he was born in Alabama. Like, no kidding. He was born in Jasper, Alabama. He was born Joseph Baldwin. Yeah. So, and that's all I'm going to say because I have an accent and yeah, I can't. Nope.
And the reason we're bringing this up, it's an older clip. Of course it is. I mean, the guy died in like 2018. I think he said it like 10 years prior to that. But here's the thing. This is where we're going. This has become more and more the attitude. We're seeing more and more of this. We're seeing it in this Metcalf and all of the case and, you know, all this stuff. We're seeing all this stuff where people are just like, oh, I can't say anything. But that's becoming a by and large mindset in a big way. And thank God for the black voices out there who call that nonsense out for what it is.
Thank you, Zeke.
It's nonsense. Guys like Zeke Arkham, guys like Officer Tatum, guys like David Harris. You know, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We're calling that nonsense out.
But like, that's the scary part of this, Chad, is like, and I saw people in the chat go, ain't this clip like 15, 20 years old? Yeah, it is. But here's the part. Here's the worst part. It is trending right now.
Exactly.
Like, that is trending.
That's my point.
That's why we're showing it.
That's why we're showing it, because if you go on X right now, it's about every fifth video of that right there. 20 years ago, and it's trending right now. Kill Whitey is trending right now.
That is my point right there. That is my point that I want people to understand, that this is what we're seeing here. I mean, this is a trending deal, and we're starting to see people who are actually okay with this. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? I defy any one of you to get on today, get on X, and say something negative about Jasmine Crockett. If you got any following whatsoever, watch. They'll come out in defense of that crazy person.
Or Angel Reese, same thing, man. Same thing.
Angel Reese, that's another one. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Now, speaking of calling people out, I mean, just walking up to the barn and calling your mule out, man. Blow up the chat with the American flags, because this ought to make you feel good that you got a president, you got a commander-in-chief who had this to say for Volodymyr Zelensky. He says, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is boasting, front page of the Wall Street Journal, that Ukraine will not legally recognize the occupation of Crimea. Nothing to talk about here. This statement is very harmful to the peace negotiations. Scroll on down there, Todd, where he says, you know what? Here's the deal. You don't want to come to the table. You don't want to do with this. You want to keep defying this. He said, you don't want to get this done. I'm summarizing all this stuff. He says, here's the thing. You want this? We'll let you just keep on going for the next 3 years. You can lose the whole dadgum country. I'm adding some stuff in right there. But I love that. I love that. It's savage, dude. And he says, you keep on fighting. You keep on going through the same old stuff that you went through. And for the next 3 years, and here's my solution, guys. Here's my solution. When peace finally happens, I was thinking about this 2 days ago. When peace finally happens, and there's peace if you can get it in Ukraine. And Russia says, all right, we've had enough. Ukraine says we've had enough. We're going to do this thing. Trump negotiates peace. And it's going to happen. Watch. But when that happens, everybody that was floating those Ukrainian flags in their profile pictures, everybody that was waving the flags, everybody that was protesting in the streets, everybody in Congress that was wearing their pins, you moved to Ukraine now. You chose where you want to live. You chose your homeland. Yeah, but that's unfair because we're just trying to defend the defenseless. No. If you think Zelensky's defenseless, let me tell you something. You go over there. You live there. You know, it's 6 months out of there. No, just move over there. Just get on over there. It's like the same people say, I stand with Ukraine. Yeah, but you don't stand over there on the front line. So if that's where your money, that's where your tax dollars went, that's where all the effort, energy, and work went to, then you go ahead and go on over there. Kiev got hit by Kiev. I'm sorry, I'm not calling it Kiev. That's the new woke.
Kiev.
Yeah, when I was there, it was Kiev. They suddenly changed the name. When I was over there, it was Kiev. Putin reached out and touched somebody last night. Now, I don't like seeing this, but it's a reminder of how weak you are, because that's 350 kilometers, I think, from the front lines of what has traditionally been for the last couple of years, the front lines. I mean, Kiev's where they're partying, right? That's where they're having the nightlife and all that stuff. Oh man, it's crazy, dude.
Well, that happened right after Zelensky made that freaking statement, and Putin said, "Okay, hold my beer."
Yeah, you just reach out and touch somebody, and remind them, how vulnerable you are.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like Trump said, the mic drop moment for this. He's like, you can either accept peace or you can lose your whole country. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's that simple. And Putin was like, "Look, I must break you."
Yeah. I saw. I don't know if he's still in there or not. I'm going to see him Sunday night. Graham Allen, put a little Graham Allen GA in the chat. Let's blow it up for him. Let's blow it up. Come on, blow it up. That's what he wants to do. He's going to blow it up. Blow
GA or AKA the Patriot Hammer.
Patriot Hammer. He hates that so much. He does not like.
He hates
nicknames, dude. He does not like that stuff. That's one of the things he said in the group chat. Put the GA in there. Blow it up. GA. Spin it. Spin the wheel. Spin that wheel, baby.
I have a question for you guys. After I saw that clip here, what do you guys think was going to happen now that Russia attacked Kiev? Do you think that Zelensky's going to come to the table now and say, all right, my people are dying. We need to do something. Obviously, the peace talks aren't, we need to stop this madness here. Do you think that's going to happen, or he's just going to keep on? I'm not coming to the peace table.
My personal thought is the man's got little man syndrome. And so he's got to try to have some kind of appearance of strength. He's got to try to bolster up some kind of support. And again, when I say support, he's just trying to get more money. He turns this into a money grab. He's going to talk big. He's going to puff his chest out. But at the end of the day, he's going to come back like a little dog with his tail between his legs. He's already begging. He wanted to meet Trump in Rome for the Pope's funeral.
That's all fine and dandy that you want to do that when you have the most powerful country in the world behind you. But
Yeah.
now that Trump is like, nope, you know, he had Biden eating out of his palm. So, but now that Trump's in there, he's like, now you need to go, you know, we want our money back or give us your minerals or something. I mean, now that he doesn't have the U.S., it's a lot harder to go over there and say, oh, I'm you know, trying to puff out his chest because we just saw what Russia did and nobody's even playing anything on the news. I mean, I had a hard time finding some of those clips.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the thing about being a leader, man. Like, and that's what a lot of these world leaders and local leaders, that's the big thing that they miss. All right. It's not about you. Okay. It's about the people that you serve. Mm-hmm. And if Zelensky is worth his weight, which we all know he's not, he'll sit back and go, okay, Russia just reached out and touched Kiev. I don't have any more Patriot missiles because America has stopped sending them. Mm-hmm. So either I can come to the table and operate this country separate in peace, or I can lose half my population and we'll have to change our name to Russia. Easy decision.
You're not wrong about that.
Yeah. Easy decision. I mean, easy decision because listen, I don't care what side of the fence you stand on. Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in the world, and I am no fan of Putin or Russia. Okay, I don't care how this pendulum swings. I need y'all to get that. I don't give a piss about either one of these countries. I don't care. All right, but the fact of the matter is that if Russia wants Ukraine and America's not standing in the way anymore, this war will be over in 3 days.
It'll be done. Be done. All right, let me show you what I can do now. I changed my control board over here yesterday, and let me show you what I can do.
What are you doing?
Bam! Look at that. I can
look
change.
What I can do.
I can change. Look what I can do. I can change. I can change camera angles. Bam, bam. I mean, I won't do that, but I can do that. So let me talk to you about my friends over at Backyard Butchers. Backyard Butchers got that price lock going on right now for a couple more weeks. You can lock, no matter what the supermarkets do, no matter what the grocery store does with the prices on beef, Backyard Butchers, you can lock in your price for the rest of the year. BackyardButchers.com/Chad. It is grass-fed, grain-finished, no hormones, no vaccines, no steroids in that beef. Texas beef from Texas ranchers. Oh, yeah. Get that steakhouse box, backyard box, farmhouse box. Get it. I'm telling you, it will deliver to your house every single month. You can get a whole steer. You can get half a steer, and they'll deliver it over a year, so it doesn't, crowd up your freezer space. Get that meat, man. Get that meat. Get that beef. Look how good that T-bone looks right there. Oh, my goodness. I love eating steak, Daddy. It's my favorite thing. BackyardButchers.com/Chad. Get over there. All of their beef is 100% American raised. And I'll go even further. Texas raised, baby. Center of the universe right here in Texas. So get it. BackyardButchers.com. Get that price lock put in place for the rest of the year. BackyardButchers.com/Chad. They're doing it right. They're doing it right. C-H-A-D.
I'm about to show my age, but you guys remember when those commercials were out with that old lady, like, where's the beef?
Oh, yeah.
Remember
that was Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Yeah,
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
That. Where's the beef?
That was one of the greatest commercials ever, dude.
Yeah, it was.
Where's the beef? Let's talk about this. Give a little disclaimer here. This is graphic. But again, let me just say, if you talk to your kids, talk to your high schoolers, talk to your middle schoolers, teach them how to use their brains, how to use their minds, and not immediately go to fists and go to fights. But this is one 16-year-old. 16 years old, man. What were you doing when you were 16 years old? I was just happy to have a driver's license. I was happy to hang out with my friends on the weekend. Yeah. But this is the stuff, we're sending them into war zones, man. Kids don't know how to solve problems. They don't know how to de-escalate. Kid got stabbed by a 15-year-old student at school. According to the police, 15-year-old was arrested, currently in custody. The kid is in the hospital, obviously. Thank God he's alive. Mm-hmm. Let's play the video. I mean, this gets a little
so the
brutal.
kid in the black shirt is the one that stabbed the kid in the red shirt, just for reference. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, he's getting his comeuppance, and I don't know where this kid comes from. These two, but he pulled the knife out and stabbed him numerous times right there.
I mean, he's stabbing him, cutting him right there.
And I saw a clip of the kid on the floor later on with a lot of blood. There you go.
There's the knife.
you know,
right
as
there.
a father, I was, we homeschooled, right? We homeschooled up until we couldn't homeschool because I got some kids that are so dadgum smart, they got smarter than us. And so we homeschooled, and then we put them in certain schools like co-ops and stuff like that we could do. But I always, I felt like this environment that we're sending our kids into is a frightening deal. It really is, because you're not there to protect them, and you shouldn't have to be there to protect them. I mean, kids should be able to go in, get an education in a place of safety. And no, the kid in the red probably shouldn't have been waylaying the other kid down on the floor. I mean, you smack a kid, and fights happen amongst boys. I get that. I'm not trying to change that. Those things are going to happen. De-escalate. I'm not telling you to turn your kid into a wuss, but sometimes it is okay doesn't hurt your pride to walk away. Teach them those things. But, I mean, you punch a kid, he goes down. All right, the fight's over. Boom, he's had enough. Yep. I mean, he's waylaying on this kid, and that doesn't justify sticking a knife in somebody.
No, not at all. And it goes back to what Chad, me, you, and Tony. And I don't know if Tony probably didn't do anything like this, but I know me and you did. You being in Georgia and me being in Mississippi, we got into fights like this all the time. I'm talking about like all the time. But we went to school in a day where we literally had rifles hanging in the back glass of our trucks in the parking lot because we literally just got out of the woods. And not once did any of us ever think of going and grabbing the gun or skinning knives or anything like that and stabbing anyone. Look, I understand the kid in black was getting his butt whooped. I get that. But who knows what he did to justify getting his butt whooped. But none of us ever did anything like that. So,
and we don't know the context of it. We don't know the pretext.
No, not
at
all.
You don't stab somebody. I mean, it could have been, it could have been a bully situation. I mean, I dealt with bullies. We all dealt with bullies. I didn't think about killing them. I mean, I thought about it, but I didn't do it. Like, I didn't bring a weapon to do it. If these kids don't know how to de-escalate, they don't know how to deal with it. And, I just...
It's insane.
Yeah,
thing... I'll be honest with you, Tony. Go ahead, Tony. I'll make that point in a minute.
I was just gonna say I wasn't involved in quite a bit of fights growing up, and growing up in LA, there was always fights everywhere. Same kind of thing what you're saying here, Todd. Anytime there was a fight involved, it was never. Even back then, if somebody were to get knocked down, we would always make sure everybody that was standing around would make sure that they didn't jump on top of them. Like, give them a chance to get back up. Give them a chance to get back up, but don't wail on them while they're down. But the problem is, I mean, I think these kids, they play too much Grand Theft Auto. They see the UFC, they're wailing on them. It's just, I think it has a lot to do with parents and social media and bringing guns to school, bringing knives to school. That wasn't a thing back then. It's just social media has made it so everybody thinks it's okay to do stuff like that, because you see what happens. They put the clip online and they're like, oh my God, you stabbed the kid at school, and then unfortunately that kid's probably got his life ruined, but he's gonna be internet famous for a while because he just stabbed a kid at school. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
Potentially tried as an adult. I mean, it's attempted murder.
Yeah, but I'm gonna push back a little bit on one little sentence that you said there, Tony, with the Grand Theft Auto. People are blaming people are blaming social media and stuff like that on the way these kids are acting. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Tony, but a lot of people are going, well, it's because of social media. No, it's not. It's because they don't have parents at home. Okay, because I grew up playing Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, all that stuff. I grew up playing those violent video games. That didn't turn me into a psycho killer or somebody that was wanting to stab somebody. You know why? Because Mike Spears would have beat my ass. I mean, it's that simple. It really is. It's that simple. There's a lot of dumb stuff that I could have done when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. A lot of dumb decisions I could have made, but every decision was like, well, if I do that, he's going to kill me. I can't do that.
I can't disagree with you there, Todd. You're right. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. If there was more parenting going on at home, it could be that the kid wouldn't have brought a knife to school at all, because if he would have got caught with a knife, then his parents would have got involved and all that. So you say, it could be like a consequential kind of thing, but you're 100% right.
The reasons we have metal detectors at schools and camera systems and security at schools right now is because there's not parents at the house snatching that leather belt across belt loops, scaring the life out of their children.
You got to introduce them to the song of our people, the sound of a leather belt turning loose from denim loops. You got to beat that ass.
Sorry, Chad, what were you going to say?
Let me tell you what I grew up playing. Donkey Kong and Pitfall. That's what I got. That's what I grew. We had an Atari that had a stick on it and one button.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what Atari 2600. Where's my people at?
That's
Atari
it, baby.
Asteroids,
2600.
man. Asteroids.
Playing
Where's my
Pong.
people? Yeah, we get it all the way down to one little asteroid going through, and then we'd speed that little triangle up that we called a spaceship, and we just go going fast and fast and fast. How fast can it go through the screen? Zoom, zoom, zoom before that thing finally timed it out. We played Pong when I was a kid. You know what?
baby.
Ain't nobody ever thought about jacking a car after playing Pong.
That's true.
All
That
right.
that is true.
That was the excitement right there. We had that's back when we had a little paddle wheel right there. We played Pong.
Oh, that's right. I remember those things. Yep.
You know what I can go all the way back to when Nintendo had a little handheld game where it was a little speck dot and you played football. You like tick 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 tick, and you had a little football field like this. I had never thought about getting involved with violence after playing tick 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 tick. We were in ones and zeros, man.
I love it.
We weren't dealing in gigabytes. Son, we were excited to have a megabyte.
Tecmo Bowl,
We didn't have a
baby.
computer.
Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl, baby.
I can remember when we got an Apple computer in 8th grade in the school, and we would go in there, and you had to type out the words to play the game. Like we got, you know what? Let's send them down
That's
this
right.
street.
Yeah.
We were playing, forget it, man. Anyway, I just say you're right. It's got to be parenting, but also this. If you're going to send them to a school, the thing that kept me out of trouble, a big thing, one was authority, parents. I had great parents, and my dad would have snatched a knot in my butt, but I had good coaches, and I was an athlete. I played
Yeah.
football, I played baseball, and my coaches would have jacked me up. I didn't want that. And I also had accountability of friends because I was on teams, and I was a part of something that felt like a community, and I knew that I didn't want to jeopardize that. Did I get into fights? Yeah, occasionally. We might change, throw hands a little bit, but then it was over with, and now we're buddies to this day. But there are bullies, there are people that push, and so here we go. So I'm just out here playing Frogger and Pong.
That's it.
And here's a deal, and I got a hot take on this. Ketanji Brown Jackson Brown. I don't know what her name is. She's a Supreme Court justice. Ketanji Brown Jackson says it's easy for parents. If you don't want your kids learning about stuff that goes in their butt and sex toys. Look at my girl right here, Sarah Gonzalez. I wish y'all could jump in our chat sometimes. So the text messages we send each other, we'd be canceled immediately. You want to talk about the most based take in the world? Sarah Gonzalez gives zero. What about what you think about her? But she says if you don't want your kids to hear about butt stuff, don't play the clip from Sarah.
The dispute centers on mandatory LGBTQ-themed books in the classroom, including one about a puppy at a pride parade and another about a same-sex wedding. The parents are like, we should be able to opt out of this, the same way that parents can opt out for sex ed. And I want to play the brilliant Ketanji Brown Jackson, the one who didn't even know, couldn't tell you what a woman was, asking and making this statement that is just so mind-bogglingly retarded. You just have to listen for yourself.
I guess I'm struggling to see how it burdens a parent's religious exercise if the school teaches something that the parent disagrees with. You have a choice. You don't have to send your kid to that school. You can put them in another situation.
Wait, are the Democrats now advocating for school choice?
Got that right.
Wow, who'd have thunk it? Also,
Brianna.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it does kind of infringe on a parental right if the school wants to teach your child about butt sex. Maybe you should be allowed to say, no, I don't want my kid to hear about butt sex from her teacher.
Yeah,
Call me crazy.
Can you imagine going back and telling George Washington that the highest court in the land is going to be debating over whether or not preschool children should be forced to learn about sodomy?
Right.
Okay?
Before we make comments on that, play Ketanji Brown's statement.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Whatever. Play this.
This is a Supreme Court justice, ladies and gentlemen.
This is
And I guess I'm struggling to see how it burdens a parent's religious exercise if the school teaches something that the parent disagrees with. You have a choice. You don't have to send your kid to that school. You can put them in another situation.
And she does go on to say you can send your kids to private school, or you can just homeschool your children.
Yeah, you can spend $20,000 a year to make, and I will agree with her on that. I agree, you can, and you should. And there's people. She said, "Well, everybody can afford." And there are people who, "Well, I can't afford to homeschool." Well, that's because we've built a society that's made it almost impossible because they require 2 people in the home to go out and get a full-time job so they can send twice the tax money into the IRS, and we continue to pay for our own screwing. No pun intended when we're talking about what's going on with the butt. But I'm just saying. She's evil, she's nasty, they're gross, they're disgusting, and I do say, and I have said for years and years and years, in fact, people got mad at me because every day on my show, on the Chad Prather Show, for 3 years, I said, get your kids out of public schools. Get them out of public schools. I went so far as to say, if you love your kids, get them out of public schools. They're being brainwashed as Marxist socialism. It goes all the way back to John D. Rockefeller funding that thing because he said he wanted workers, not thinkers. They're teaching your kids standardized testing. They're not teaching them how to think. They're teaching them, math and English and rote memory stuff, and then put them in front of a Scantron. They are not educated. They don't know how to read. And if they do know how to read and sound out the letters, they don't know how to comprehend what it is they did read. So there's no critical thinking. There's no common sense. And now you want to factor in butt sex. Well, my dear God. I mean, we're talking about stuff that no kid should be dealing with. They shouldn't be thinking about that kind of stuff, which again goes back to your point earlier, Todd. We don't have parents. Parents don't want to talk to their kids about the hard things or the things that might be a little bit embarrassing. Come on, folks. And you know what? I will say this to the grandparents, because I know we got a lot of grandparents out here in the chat. Raise your hand if you're a grandparent. Your kids are failing your grandkids because they've taught them nothing but Amazon.com and PlayStation. Every day there's an Amazon package showing up on the door. These kids got a push-button lifestyle. They don't know anything about consequences. They don't know how to deal with hardships. They don't know how to deal with bullies. They don't know how to deal with somebody picking on them. They don't know how to deal with the word no, because they haven't been disciplined in any way, shape, or form. They haven't disciplined their minds, much less their bodies. And now you're going to go in there and tell a child that doesn't have a prefrontal cortex that has ever been developed and won't be until they're 25, 26 years of age. You're dealing with literally somebody that's lobotomized naturally, and you're going to talk to them about butt sex and anal butt plugs. And come on, man. I mean, this is ridiculous that we continue to say that we love our children and grandchildren and keep putting them in these indoctrination centers.
100%. And let me give you some numbers here. Let me throw some numbers at you. Okay, so across the country, across the United States, we're talking 3%. 3% of K through 12 students, 3% identify as alphabet people. 9% of the educators in this country identify as LGB, whatever that means. 4% identify as LGBTQ element of P. So right now, I mean, it's not a large percentage, but you have a larger percentage of teachers that identify as an alphabet bandit versus students. But I go back to, this is a Supreme Court justice. Your entire job, your entire job is to look at the whole big picture of this country and every citizen in it and determine what is right and wrong for the entire population, not 3% of it.
That's right.
You're making rulings and these stupid statements based on 3% of the population. What about the other 97%?
It's a great point, Todd. Great point. Yeah. And the thing is that I want everybody, if you guys don't remember, if you guys don't take anything out of the show today besides this, that is one of our Supreme Court justices. That is as high as it goes, and that is exactly why we try to have conservative values. Right now, the Supreme Court is 6-3 in conservative justices. But when a slot opens up again, and you have a liberal friend that comes out to you like, oh, we need to even out the Supreme Court. This is exactly why, because we have a Supreme Court justice out there being okay with teaching your children about butt sex. I mean, let's be 100% real here, people. I don't think that Supreme Court justice has any kind of moral or religious values to be able to say the things she's doing or support the things she's doing if she actually had Jesus behind her.
Yeah, and to there are people in the chat saying, how do we, the people, get her thrown out? Well, you don't. I mean, she's there. But here's what you can do, okay? You can get off the bench and get into the game, and go to these school board meetings, go talk to these educators, go talk to these school board members, and just say, not happening. Y'all hear this accent, you know where I'm from, okay? You can just listen to me for 30 seconds and go, I know where that dude's from. we would burn that school to the ground. If my 6 or 5 or 7-year-old came home with a book about a puppy at a freaking like LGBT, oh my God. Oh,
Well, I mean, you're going to sit there one day and you're going to go, well, how do we get her out? Well, you don't. She's going to be there for a long time. You notice the liberals are awfully quiet about court packing right now with Donald Trump. Hey, they were all about packing the courts back when it was Biden and all that regime going on. They're not talking about it right now. But think about this. Here's what you're going to look at 20 years from now, and you're going to go, man, what really happened to our country? I mean, we're saying that right now, but like, what happened to our country? You can't say you love America. I'm gonna make some people mad with this statement. I don't care, man. You can't say you love America. You can't float those flags in the chat. You can't say that you're a patriot. You can't say you believe in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and continue to send the next generation of Americans to Marxist, socialist, Dewey and Mann system of education, brainwashing, indoctrination camps. You can't do it. 1917, when the Bolsheviks took over in Russia, the first thing they did was took the children out of the home and put them in communist schools because they didn't trust the parents to teach them to be good communists. And look at what happened. Look at what happened. Communism, responsible for more deaths than anything else in the world, on the world stage, historically.
And SCOTUS is on a federal level, and all the more reason that Linda McMahon and President Trump need to hurry up and just etch a sketch or Control-Alt-Delete for my young people the entire Department of Education. It needs to go away. It needs to go back to the states. I mean, y'all can do what you do in California. I don't care. I don't have to live there. All right, but bring it back to me, to my state, where I know, and I don't have any kids that are in the school system anymore. My last 2 are graduating next month, but my grandkids, bring it back to me, where I, as a citizen of Mississippi, as a representative of the state, of resident of Mississippi, I can decide. No, my grandkids ain't dealing with that. They ain't looking at that. They ain't ever going to know anything about that. No, it's up to the parents and the people of your particular state. And if you live in California, sorry, not sorry.
Are we doing the Rumble thing today?
Yes.
Okay.
In
so we got the
13
Rumble
minutes.
raid coming.
13 minutes.
13 minutes, you'll go over to Vince. People are like, stop with the Rumble raid. We don't have a say in that matter, okay?
Yeah.
But this is the way the live feature works. This is the way being featured in here. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. That is the way it works. That is the way it works. And so it's going to go over there.
You can opt out. All you got to do is opt out. You can opt out and hang out with us.
Don't send me any more private messages or DMs about how you don't like it, because look at me when I tell you I don't care what you like and don't like. This is the way it works, okay? We are very thankful that Rumble gives us the live feature to be able to be on here with you guys and have a good time in the mornings, and it gives us a lot of more eyeballs. And if you have gotten to the point where you can't just hit a couple extra buttons with your fat thumbs, then I can't help you. All right. Don't be a sunny host. And, I don't agree with Trump saying he wanted to pay $5,000 for new babies. I don't agree with that either, because I know where that's going to go. That's another welfare system where Party Foul Steve will be out there getting his vasectomy reversed real quick. That'd be a new career path for him. Like the dude that was selling unvaxxed sperm for, $3,600 a shot. He had like 16 kids out there. He'll never know. But this is what Sonny hosts. And, of course, you got to bring the race card in. This is what Trump's truly after right there. All right. Scoot down there, Todd, and hit that clip. Let's listen to this brain trust.
Because when I look at something like this, these proposals, I want to know why, and I want to know who's making them. And so when I looked into that, they're saying that the U.S. birth rate is declining. However, in 2024, there was a 1% increase in U.S. births. But that increase was with Hispanic mothers and Asian mothers. So they don't seem to be concerned about that increase. They seem to be more concerned about a decrease in other populations.
Say it.
No, I think I said enough.
It's not based on that.
And so, well, it's just based on.
Stop right there. You get where we're going on that deal.
White people.
It ain't going to be white people.
But this is another reason why this woman is a full-blown epitard, okay? Because let's think of this logically. Take your left and take your right out of it completely, all right? I just think of it as a logical human being. She said in 2024, there was an increase in Latin births and Asian births. Well, Sonny, why do you think that is? because they're all illegal.
That's right.
And they wanted an anchor baby. That's why it increased, you retard.
All right, let's talk about real quick before we have to do the little flip, and folks will be coming back, I know, but let's talk about Pete Hegseth. He's getting rid of the woke, dude. I mean, he is absolutely cleaning house. We talked to Graham the other day. Graham confirmed that. I mean, they are absolutely cleaning from the bottom to the top. And Pete Hegseth announced that woke is gone from the U.S. military. He's doing some pretty great things. Real quick, let's play this clip. Here's the Secretary of Defense.
At the Defense Department, that means no more distractions, no more social engineering, no more climate change worship, no more electric tanks, no more gender confusion, no more pronouns, no more excuses, no more quotas, no more woke bullshit that undermines commanders and command climates. We are laser focused on our mission of warfighting.
There you go.
Man, if that don't do something to you, I can't help you. I can't help you.
I'm down with it.
If that doesn't do something to you, I can't help you.
Peace through strength. He says 8,700 service members are being brought back after removal for the vaccine nonsense. I say give them the back pay, get them rocking and rolling, get them back in there. If they want to come back, bring them on back. Play the clip.
We're also welcoming back former service members who were wrongly forced to leave the military. More than 8,700 service members were involuntarily separated for not taking an experimental COVID-19 vaccine. Others were more informally pushed out or decided to get out. We are welcoming actively back those warriors of conscience.
I like
We
it.
sent letters out. We're seeking them out. We want them back. They never should have been forced to come back quickly.
And we have record numbers of enlistment going on, right, Todd?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Record numbers right now. Now, you've got the Army's up 6,800. Call it the Trump bump. The Navy's up 6,300, and the Air Force is up 2,200. Like, I talk to recruiters all the time because, I mean, I did that in the Army for a while, and they all say the same thing. And it's not just the Army, it's the Navy, it's the Air Force. I've got buddies that are Marine Corps recruiters. They all say the same thing. It's easier to recruit right now than it ever has been.
And it's only going to get better if you have J.D. Vance as a candidate in a couple of years.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. You got a Marine. I mean, this is just going to get better and better.
Yeah, 100%. But to go back to the first clip that we played and kind of mesh it with the second one with the 8,700. All right, look, that's great. I mean, because they're going to give them back pay and all that stuff, and that's great. But let's understand something. You had 8,700 legit. Like, we ain't talking about 8,700 privates or 8,700 E4s that just got out. No. You had 8,700 across every branch, legit killing machine, hard trained war fighters. And the majority of them ain't coming back. I hate to say it, but the majority of them are not coming back because of that first clip, because of the woke, the insanity, the transgender, the women in combat roles, the electric tanks, and all the woke BS that infiltrated our Department of Defense and our war fighters. They're not coming back because they were treated so badly. You had, even me, in my last couple years of being in the Army, you had people like me and other instructors, senior NCOs, that were handicapped, that couldn't train the younger generation. And now that younger generation are the trainers. And it's still going to be woke. It's still going to be different. It's still not, it's going to take years to undo the destruction of the Department of Defense. Yeah, we are.
On the right path.
We are. 100% we are. But it's going to take years to fix this.
Yeah, no doubt. And you got to get the corruption out.
And what I've never understood there, Todd, is when all this was going on with all the DEI stuff that was in the military and the DOD, I've never understood why you would take a fighting machine like the U.S. military back, when Trump was there and Bush and everything, and then you have somebody like Obama come in and Biden and all that and completely destroy how strong our military was back then. I've never understood just to be inclusive. Is that what
No,
it's
just really easy to understand, man. And I don't care if you're left, right, middle, black, white, purple, blue, or green. You can argue this with me all you want, but it's really simple to understand. If you weaken the DOD in the United States, you weaken the entire country. All right, because in the 4 years Biden was in office, look at me in a straight face and tell me that Putin, Xi Jinping, the Peckerwood in North Korea, Iran, ISIS, anybody that was willing to do America harm, tell me that they looked at our Army commercials, our Navy commercials, and our DOD in our country and went, man, we don't need to mess with them, man. They're
Exactly.
no, that's why they did it, because you cripple the fighting force and you cripple the war fighters, you handcuff the American soldier, you destroy the country.
Blow up the chat with those American flags. Todd's moving to Oakland. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Big announcement. Todd's moving to Oakland because apparently they got a new mayor, and she wants to. Yeah, she's trash. We gotta get out of here.
This is just a little background of her right there when she was in Congress, apparently, and this is what she was doing with the whole.
$63 million of federal money went to her own company while she was in power. She's running for mayor of Oakland. This is Barbara Lee, 26 years in Congress. She's floating a $50 minimum wage.
Yep. And I think she got elected. Yeah, she got elected.
She got elected, buddy. I'm telling you, you start promising people free stuff, you're going to get elected. That's for sure. But that's what she got. She got $50 minimum wage. That ain't enough to live in Oakland, folks. I'm just telling you, that ain't enough to live in Oakland. There ain't enough money on the planet to get.
You'd have to spend the $50 an hour just to buy the bullets to survive in Oakland,
brother.
Again, guys. I mean, I know I'm not a smart man, but I mean, at $50 an hour. She'd have to expect that all the prices at the grocery store, you're going to be paying $80 a 12-pack of eggs. I mean, I don't understand what her thinking here is.
I say it all the time. I say it all the time. Why not make it $1 million an hour?
Why not?
Yeah,
$10,000 an hour.
It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
Man,
yeah, I mean, if that's what you're going to do, you just might as well do that. So,
well, I could go to Oakland and work at McDonald's for like 6 months and live in a cardboard box, and then come back to Mississippi and have a little savings account.
Yeah, go back and watch my episode from the Chad Prather show. The other day, where we talked about how with the Federal Reserve, every dollar in your pocket ain't nothing but it's just a debt. That's all it is, because there's nothing behind it. So they can print all the money they want. All right, they're going to do the Rumble raid here in just a little bit. You'll go over to Vince's show if you want to come back and hang out with us for the live chat. We will do that and hang out with us. Before y'all go, and we're going to pray real quick while we still got everybody here. Can we just show that chicken thing? Todd, can you pull?
Bro, this is
just all right. People are stupid. First of all, he's got tattoos on his forehead. Play the clip real quick. Play it.
From Whole Foods.
He's cutting into the raw chicken package.
I like it when it doesn't have.
He's gonna eat it rare.
Retained water.
Not what? Oh no!
God!
Oh no! He's dead. He did.
Mm-hmm.
He did. We back to Tide Pods. We back to licking the ice cream. We back to the
oh man,
boy, got salmonella now.
Oh,
you know what? Let it go. Just my thing is Darwin Awards. Let it go. Let it go. Just let them have it. Natural selection, baby.
Man.
Some people weren't made to live long. All right. Hey, dear America family, blow up the chat. Blow up the chat. If you go over to Vince, feel free to come back with us. Let me pray us out of here real quick, guys.
Oh, my Lord.
I pray for every person within the sound of my voice, Lord, that you would be real to them, that you would reveal yourself to them, that you would expose them to truth, and that would be in the light of the cross of Jesus Christ. We thank you for our salvation. We thank you that you died for us, that you lived for us, that you have put life inside of us. And Lord, we thank you for truth. We thank you for insight and revelation. We pray for our country. Lord, we pray for, there's so much stupid out there. Father, please bring order to this crazy chaos. Let your kingdom rule and let your kingdom reign as we seek first that kingdom and your righteousness, knowing that all these other things will be added to us. Father, be Lord in our nation, be Lord in our lives. And I pray if anyone that hears this doesn't know you, that you would reveal yourself to them in truth and power and save them. Father, rescue them from destruction and chaos. And we pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 I just, I have so many questions about this raw chicken eating dude. But
I bet you do.
My first question
Put the Rumble
is,
raid up there first. Put the Rumble raid up there.
Here it is. Here it comes.
It's going to be in the top of the chat.
Right there, folks. Is who sits down in a tattoo parlor and says, I'm going to get freedom tattooed on my forehead?
Yeah.
Freedom.
Sounds redundant.
Little. Okay, well there it is, folks. Rumble raid is initiated. You can click the raid button, or you can click the opt out button.
I'm going to
Whatever
come
you
back and
wanna
finish the show. It's a very simple deal.
Because we have freedom here in this country.
Freedom. There's
I watched that
Vince.
movie the other day. Awesome.
Vince got his knuckles up in that deal there. And I hit my search bar. I've automatically saved Dear America. There it is. I come right back to the show, and bam, it's like I was never gone. How about that?
Nice.
There it is. We're back. Pow. We're back. See how simple that is? Thank you, Rumble, for letting us be a part of the live feature in the mornings. This is pretty good before we go over to the live chat. Live chat is $5 or more. We'll get you read. Or any questions you want to ask, we will talk to you. All that money goes to Graham Allen. I ain't lying. All that money goes to Graham Allen.
$5.
I want to get to that El Salvador ad. $5 is cheap, bro. Oakland get $50 minimum. Mm-hmm. Play Carolyn Levitt. I just like it the way she says gangbangers.
The Democrat Party is full-blown crazy. Their motto should be illegal immigrant criminals first and American citizens last, because that's exactly what they are doing. You have seen Democrat elected officials who swear an oath to stand up for their constituents and law-abiding American citizens spending more time advocating for illegal alien criminals, gangbangers, and wife beaters in the case of Abrego Garcia from Maryland. It's despicable. It is disgusting. And we are going to continue to call them out. And this administration is going to continue to fully enforce our nation's immigration laws.
But the sad part about that, Chad, is like it's not like that is some like mythical theological statement that she made. That should be common sense. Like all of that should be common sense. But the fact of the matter is you've got the peckerhead from Maryland and the rest of the epitards that are in El Salvador right now competing for the shoulder biting awards. Like, I mean, Lord have mercy, man. They just
Yeah. This is the best ad I've seen. Go ahead.
Ever.
I was just gonna say it goes back to the same thing with the whole voting thing. You know, when we were, they were registering people who were illegal immigrants, yet they were letting them vote. I mean, same kind of thing. You know, they had to try to get that law passed that you needed ID to vote. I mean, that's just, I mean, it blows my mind still with the whole thing that we're still talking about this guy who's back in his home country. Bye. I mean, he's gone. I mean, I don't know why we continue to talk about him.
He gone.
I got nothing.
Well, we'll show you here why. Because it's first of all, let me just I see the numbers going down a little bit because a lot of people are going over to Vince's show, and God bless you. And I see people all the time. Let me just say in defense of Vince, I don't know Vince personally. I know Dan. I don't know Vince. And no, Vince is not Dan, right? Like I know as a guy who came in here and helped substitute for Graham. I'm not Graham. You know, we knew people were going to be like, he ain't Graham. I get that. We're not, but it takes all voices. So I'm appreciate Vince's voice. I really do. Mm-hmm. Everybody, that's the beauty of, you know, some comedians you like better than others. Some music you like better than others. There's something for everybody, and that's okay. That's a good thing to have. And we definitely appreciate the folks that support us. And you know, listen, I'll tell you this. I like Dan Bongino, and Dan put his stamp of approval on a guy like Vince, and I was like, must be a pretty good dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, regardless of, you know, what his cadence is or how he says things, he must be a pretty good dude. For Dan to put his stamp of approval on there like that, and so you could
put anybody in that spot, and it's not gonna be Dan Bongino, folks. Nobody can do that.
I'm glad you said that, Todd, because I contend that Dan Bongino is our current Rush Limbaugh,
without a doubt.
He has been our, you know, who was going to fill those shoes, and he did it in a very different way. But I believe that Dan Bongino is our Rush Limbaugh. Like, he's that guy, and a lot of people are going to be looking forward to him coming back. But
even with Dan Bongino, people were saying, well, he's no Rush Limbaugh. You know, I mean, but calm down, people.
It's like passing a mantle, you know. Yeah. It's like, you know, just passing the mantle on, and I just think that Dan kind of filled that spot. He became the person that people go to, and he said it in a pretty intense way, and I do miss Rush. But let's play this clip. You know what? If you guys are looking, the summer is coming. If you're looking for vacation plans, you know, it's a quick plane ride. I mean, Democrats are getting down there in just a couple of hours. I mean, you can get to this lovely location pretty fast. Play this ad right here. This is a great clip.
Welcome to El Salvador, home to breathtaking sunsets, world-class surf breaks, and gangbanger Kilmer Abrego Garcia. El Salvador is the destination for Democrats seeking the thrill of bringing violent criminal illegal aliens back to America. Come witness Trump derangement syndrome in its purest form. From Chris Van Hollen to Cory Booker. You may even see John Ossoff. So what are you waiting for, Senate Democrats? Join your colleagues and step into the rhythm of rescue today.
The rhythm of rescue.
Dude.
That is awesome.
That is genius,
That was
man.
great.
That was, oh, my goodness.
Whoever did
Dude.
that, we're friends now.
It makes me want to go to El Salvador, man.
We got to start producing commercials.
Yeah, we really do.
We got to start producing
But I
commercials.
get to be the voiceover. I get to do the voiceover.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
Todd,
love
I think
that.
I think we need to have a little clip ready to go anytime somebody from Sunny from The View or Jasmine Crotchet comes on, and just have a little clip of Morgan Freeman saying, "Stop talking about it." You know, or like how do you stop racism?
Morgan
Stop talking about it.
Freeman.
Yep.
Morgan Freeman says you're an idiot.
Yep.
Facts.
You're an idiot. All right, let's jump over into
Let's get to these
those
questions.
super chats. How you like that transition right there?
I love it.
Watch this. Watch this. It's like being newsy right there. I can say, and in other news,
I'm a little jealous, man. I'm gonna have to find me another camera.
I can
I'm gonna have
actually
one
grab the
here,
little-
one here, and one front.
I can actually grab the thing and do it fast too. I'll be like, bam, and immediately we're just right over here to the next news story. Breaking news.
Are you sure that's just not Steve? Whenever you hit the button, he's like moving the camera over here, moving it back over here.
I wouldn't trust Steve to touch a single button. Party foul Steve? Absolutely not.
Todd Hub, I love it. Todd Hub fan. I delivered 2 loads of equipment for the stage and video of the NFL draft. My company had 32 trucks involved in delivering for the draft. Was a cool experience.
Nice.
I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a
pretty
fun
cool.
experience, man. The draft. That's a cool deal. They put on quite the party. That's for sure.
That's pretty cool. Ella Ramore. Prayers for my aunt. She beat cancer, but it's back. Stage 4,
no.
and she's in her 70s.
Praying,
For sure.
praying. I want to tell people. Can I just say, from my faith perspective, this is how I pray about. I always talk about the kingdom of God is about order, and it's about peace, and it's God's way of doing things. When you have cancer, it's a rebellious cell. Your body was created to work in order, and so when I pray that God would make those rebellious cells come in order with the kingdom of God and fall back under God's order the way He designed it and created them, and pray for that healing. And take that with a grain of salt for what it's worth. But that's how I pray for those situations, because it's easy to say, "Oh, we're going to be praying," but that I literally do. I pray when I hear about this, because again, go back and watch my episode about John D. Rockefeller and the money he sunk into cancer, and mostly the stuff that they made mustard gas out of is what they turned into chemotherapy in 1940. So, John D. Rockefeller funded all of that stuff, and cancer became this horrible thing. Rebellion was literally introduced into our society in the form of cancer, and now it's in our bodies. So I'm praying.
I like that. Ella Ramore again, asking for another prayer request. I've decided to try and go back into law enforcement at 48 years old. Graham inspired me. I passed my physical fitness test and written test. You better than me. Well, depends on where you live.
Man, I got multiple messages yesterday about how people found Christ through the Dear America program.
Yeah, I love that,
and people
dude.
motivated to do stuff like that, get back involved, get and speak up with their voice. I love to hear that. Put some American flags. If you celebrate that, put those American flags in the chat. I just really love that, man. Love that testimony. It's good.
Yep, love it. MD Foster, in honor of the Atari 2600, don't forget Cubert, Space Invaders, and Miss Pac-Man.
I'm telling you.
I played Galaga.
I played Galaga.
Yeah,
we
Galaga's
found
good.
there's a cheat on Galaga, like the big stand-up deal. There's a cheat you can do. My brother figured it out when he was a student in college, and they had one in the student center. And we'd sit there till 3 o'clock in the morning. My mother'd be so mad. We'd come home. We went to see Karate Kid, then went over to the arcade, and we'd be there till like 3 o'clock in the morning because he couldn't lose on Galaga. He figured out a way to make it where they can't shoot back at you.
Joust, man. Joust was my game.
Yeah, I couldn't play that thing. And then they came out with, what was it, Dungeons Lair or whatever.
Yeah.
Dungeons
That
Lair.
thing where it's like a cartoon you were playing, and I was like, hey, this sucks.
Ghosts and goblins and all that stuff.
SL Kohler. I was originally trusting the Supreme Court to straighten this country out, but now they are scaring me worse than the Democrats. True statement.
Well, you have three strands. You have three cords in this country. You got the media, you got the education, you got the courts. We were holding on to the courts by a very thin margin. Now it's iffy.
Yeah, especially with Amy Coney Barrett sitting there.
Yeah, education and media are dead in the water. So,
Trevor Taylor, Proverbs 13:24. Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. Man, I ain't wearing pants, but if I had them, yes, sir. Miss Lovegood, in my opinion, safe sex studies is a must, but not before hitting with puberty and when the hormones are in a whirlwind. But that should be it, though. Let people discover their own fetishes on their free time.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. Man, but I go back to birds and the bees conversation. That's my job as a parent, because I don't know what that teacher thinks. I don't know how that teacher teaches her kids. And listen, reading, writing, arithmetic, science. Other than that, shut up.
What if I walked in there to you and said, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm your neighbor, but I just want to come over and tell you how to talk to your kids about sex. You'd be like, you're a creep.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Do you mind if I come in the room and talk to your kids about sex? Like, I'm really concerned. I'd really like to come over and talk to your kids about sex.
Yeah, you'd probably get a throat punch.
Exactly.
Mama Christie, they need to quit worrying about Pete on those Signal and other apps. They need to worry about these men over in Lagos, Africa, conning women out of their money and then selling Bitcoin to China. Yeah. Okay.
There was somebody yesterday sent me a deal that said, you've been hacked. There's 2 other Chad Prathers. You need to change your password. No, it's called Nigerians creating fake accounts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. From the hillbilly Banks. My boy Chicken Wing came home, scratch that. If any of the kids I coached told me that this is being taught, a butt plug would be involved, but the teacher is going to like it where it ends up going.
And it's going to be a broomstick.
That's my hillbilly right there.
Dude.
That's my hillbilly right there.
There was so much there.
Mama Christie, that happened to a friend of mine on the Signal and Telegram app. There's a lot of shady stuff going on there, and they need to worry about more than Pete. Yep. Adam Jensen. Everyone pray for privateer Supercross rider Jerry Robin. He had a freak accident qualifying last weekend that left him paralyzed. There is a road to recovery for him for anyone feeling generous. Yes, prayers for Jerry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Check that out. Road to recovery. Look for Jerry Jerry Robin. That's terrible. Ghost Ride. Russia does not have high school or HS rockets. Talk to a habitual line crosser about the subject. You can reach him through Brandon Herrera.
My boy Brandon.
Yeah. Hillbilly's back. In other words, prayers for these liberal predator teachers because they might end up with a hillbilly foot in their ash. There you go. I like it. Striker J. Need powerful prayers right now, dear America family. Nicole, or into Tipton, battling cancer and chemo, back in surgery again this morning. Please crank that prayer wheel for her. Yeah, absolutely. Long-time listener, Nicole, or into Tipton. Yeah, she's medically struggling right now, so prayers for Nicole for sure. Appetizer. Baby girl got into school on the base. Thank you for your prayers. Prayers for me. PET scan soon. Ivermectin and fenbendazole have shown to help 26 kinds of cancer. Thank you guys for the show. God is good. Bam.
Is great.
Good morning, guys. I was so excited. Found out this morning that California is going to be blessed on June the 21st with one good-looking cowboy coming to town. That's going to be a great day.
I'm just saying. Downey, California, the White Rose Society, which is Seth Gruber's deal. We've got that 1916 project. We'll be there. You can go to White Rose Society. Just Google them, White Rose Society, and check them out. And we're there. It'll be me and Jaco Booyens and Seth and David Harris Jr. and Riley Gaines and a whole bunch of people. It's a list, dude.
That's pretty cool. I ain't coming to California, though. What part of California?
Dude, it's Downey. It's north of L.A. It's a good spot. No, it's not San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Somebody will correct me. I got to look it up.
Autumn G, hot take. I agree that the alphabet bandits need to stay out of the schools should the kids be exposed to it because it's a part of the world. Yes, but let the parents control and how and when they are. I mean, they're going to get exposed to it no matter what. That's why, like, me and Graham differ on the whole social media with kids thing. I prefer to let my kids see these things when they were younger, but in a controlled environment to where I could explain what it is, why it's wrong, and how we deal with it. So I agree with you a little bit.
And Downey is between L.A. and Anaheim, so it's south of L.A.
Okay. No, it's called Mid-Cities, just south of L.A. City. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Wallace.
It's in California.
This guy's over here flexing like he's hardcore for eating raw chicken out of the pack. Talk to me when you go full Rocky and bite the head off a live one.
Drink that blood, man. Get food. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the
I've
dogs.
done that. I've done that to
They're
a
eating the
chicken.
dogs.
Wow. That's crazy. Droop Dog. Don't let school shooting stabbings ad for a junior, senior in high school only had 3 priorities. 1, where the girls are going to be. 2, where can I score some beer? And 3, how am I going to pay for 1 and 2? Where's the lie?
That's good, man.
Where is the
pretty good.
lie right
Yep.
there? Where's the
is-
lie?
That is the one for the day right there.
Yep,
man.
that's
good.
it. That's
Yep.
mine for the day right there. And that's
Yep.
it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it.
Yeah. I got to put my belt back on because I've lost so much weight using Make Wellness. Optimized through the peptides. You can go to watchchad.com.
Don't lie, Chad. That's the belt that she whips you with, man. Come on now.
That's why I keep it around. Daddy wants a little spanking. You can go to watchchad.com right there on my homepage, right under the header. You can click Make Wellness. Check it out. It's the end of the month, so we got a lot of stuff. And if anybody that does subscribe and save with me, guess what? I'm sending you the Team CP hat. Team CP.
Team CP.
That's this week, though. You got to sign up this week. Todd and Kendra pushing that stuff, too. Boy, I like to see it. I love to see it. I've talked to everybody I know. I've never been this wild about products and stuff like that make me feel so good. I've never been so energized and focused in my life, dude.
It works.
And trust me, I'm a dude who has tried a lot of substances historically. I have a past, okay? I mean, at one point in time, years and years and years ago, let's be clear, I was worried about closing the border because I was like, how are we going to get our supply?
Wow.
I mean, dude,
my goodness.
you guys come at me like y'all think I ain't never been through some things. I have been through some things, y'all. I got
That
some
man will
street
tell you.
No,
That
stories.
man
no.
will tell you some stuff.
No, we know you have. We just didn't know you were going to share with everybody. So, you know.
Well, people need to know. They need to know. Daddy's in the house.
Do they need to know?
You know, whether they do or not, I can't help myself.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's exactly it.
There's just no filter. Let's see. There's one more super
There's
chat
one more
there.
here, right here. One McLean. What are y'all thoughts on disabled people voting and thoughts about conservative disabled?
No, they shouldn't do it.
Well, it depends on the disability, man. Like, I think he's the. I think you're the one that emailed me yesterday. I think this particular person is disabled, but like the email.
Yeah, what's
that
the
he
angle
sent,
of the question here?
Well, so if this is the person that I think it is, and I don't want to say anyway, it has like a form of Down syndrome. But the email that he sent me was very detailed. I mean, the grammar was better than mine. And so, like, my opinion on this particular individual, X1 McLean, is, yeah, your English is better than mine, and I vote. And when it comes to a disabled person, I think each individual person is a case-by-case basis. I mean, obviously, there are some people that are way too disabled to vote because they can't understand the gravity of it. But, I mean, I think it's a case-by-case basis.
True. Yep, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, it's case by case. I mean, same kind of thing with people who have early onset dementia or Alzheimer's. I mean, if they can still grasp the whole, you know,
like Jimmy Carter
yeah.
shouldn't have voted.
No, absolutely not.
Shouldn't have voted.
The guy was 175 years old. He couldn't move. Of course, he shouldn't have voted.
And let's be completely serious about this. There are some perfectly, fully functioning adults in this country
Right.
that shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Yeah, shouldn't be allowed to drive, man.
Yeah,
Vote.
I agree.
Pardon me, the progressives on the left are mentally incapacitated already. So
Yeah, true.
look at this dog. Y'all can't see. Look at this dog. He just pushes his way right in here. I mean, he's 100 pounds. You can't stop him from doing it. Like if I put him down, he's gonna come in there. Got to come get his love every now and then.
For real.
Scared the mess out of him when I slap the table with that belt. Gosh, I got the tickle in my throat. All right. What else we got?
It's because you started letting your skeletons out of the closet. That's why.
Yeah.
Had a bone sticking out of his mouth.
Hey, I'll see you guys. I'll be
Whoa.
back Tuesday. Willie apologized to me yesterday. It was so funny. I was telling you guys that he's 8. He'll be 8. I call him Willie because Willie Nelson's birthday is April 28th, and that's the day he was born. So he'll be 8 years old on the 28th. And Willie, and yes, people ask me like, "Where's Biscuit?" Biscuit's fine. But I have to keep Biscuit and Willie a little separated right now because both of them still have their, Willie's got hit, and I don't need my 10-pound dog getting pushed around by my 100-pound dog with his huevos. So we have to keep them a little separated right now. But Willie was getting in a truck yesterday, and his hip was kind of bothering him. I reached out to help him up a little bit, and he did that. And he turned on me a little bit, and then he immediately apologized with his eyes, and he put his paw on my face, and it covered my face like this. And then all night long, he tried to make it up to me like, dude, I really didn't mean that. I really didn't mean that.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Yeah. All right, guys, what do you got? Tony, final words, my brother.
Yes, sir. Actually, Todd and Kendra are driving up tomorrow, so we're going to go to Zach's wedding. Everybody who remembers producer Zach before Royce came on. Mm-hmm. He's getting married this weekend, so everybody's
pray for Tony.
Yeah, well, not pray for me. I don't care. But I don't care if you're here and you tear up my house. But pray for Zach and his fiance there that they get good weather and everything goes off without a hitch. And you guys know how weddings are, and it's stressful and it is what it is, but, we'll just cross our fingers. Everybody have a good weekend. Have a blessed weekend and stay safe.
Todd, what you got, baby?
Just remember, I'll be back on here at 3 o'clock right after Chad. So you can go to all of my socials, Todd Spears 1776, or you can go to that search bar at the top of Rumble and Google and look for the hot seat. Come hang out. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Ain't no doubt about it. And as Party Foul Steve would say, you can find me at Hot Seat on Venmo. Because apparently that works.
Everybody's following Party Foul Steve at Party Foul Steve on Venmo. Everybody's following him over there. Send Party Foul Steve a couple of dollars today.
I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna see if I can get everybody to give me. There was almost 30,000 people in here. If I can get everybody to give me $1.
But what's funny is how many people like Party Foul Steve actually takes that money and does projects with it. Like it's really cool to go watch stuff that he does with that stuff. That dude.
You know what I
committed.
do? If I got that going, I would literally go out and give it to some people because I see people all the time at Home Depot over here. People who are just sitting around, and I just it's one of those things. I don't know.
Well, all right. Next week I am in. Let's see. Next week I just tell you guys. I don't mind telling you.
Tell them.
I am in on the 3rd. We're at the Mount Pleasant, Texas. We're doing the praise and worship comedy fun day of music out in Mount Pleasant, Texas at His Glory Ranch. Then I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, Marion, Virginia, and Gatlinburg, Tennessee. A week after that. So watch chad.com where all the fun stuff is. On behalf of Todd and Tony, go check us out. Go to our websites. I'll be back 1 Central. Will I do Chad's Church? Will I do a history lesson? I don't know. I'm leaning towards a history lesson. I know you guys like the Chad's Church, but jump on there and see what we got going on at 1 Central over on the Chad Prather Rumble. I love you guys for Dear America. I'll see you Tuesday because I got to go somewhere. I'll be somewhere Monday. We'll tell you all about it later on. I love you. God bless you. We will talk to you later on. Bye.